What's up, everybody? We are talking about a big one today as we get ready for 2025. It is, what do we hope for with GTA 6? Now, before we even get there, we want your help. We need your support. We're looking to build our community. Hit that sub button, that like button, that follow button, help share, and join in on the conversation. We'll talk with you. We want to hear from you. But let's get back into it, guys. GTA 6. It is definitely, well, the most anticipated game for 2025 at the Game Awards.
One of the games of all time.
All right, it's going to be a big one without a doubt. Now, it's kind of one of those, what do we want? What do we hope for at the end of the day? I've got a couple ideas. I want to hear from you guys. Mike, I'm going to kick you first. What do you hope to get out of GTA 6? What do you want to see implemented?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I think for me, the biggest thing is I want them to stick with the open world sandboxness, right? Which is what kind of comes with GTA, right? But I don't want them to start to get too linear, right? I don't want them. For me, GTA 5 is all about I'm just going to log on and I'm going to do whatever the heck I want, right? I don't even think I beat the story because it's just like, you know what? Today I'm going to drive over here. Today I'm going to go steal a plane. Today I'm going to go break into the military base, right? I hope they continue that. I mean, we already seen how big the map is, right? That's what I really want. I want them to say, look, at the end of the day, GTA is still an open world sandbox game. Go do what you want, right? Don't make me play the story if I don't want to. Don't make me do anything. Just let me go steal a plane again, right? Let me go break into somewhere and just have a lot of fun, right? So that's it, and I hope they just expand on it, right? We've seen how big the map is, right? Maybe there's 2 military bases, right? Maybe I can go break into a football field, right? Or a baseball stadium just to have some fun in the middle of a game, right? Something like that. I just really want to make sure it maintains that sandbox element because it feels like we've gotten away from sandbox games more and more over the last few years, right? It's like, hey, go to point A to point B. Sure, you can maybe choose your own path, but yeah, give me that open world. Give me that sandbox. Keep GTA the way it's been, and I will be happy because, man, I'll tell you, I don't want to play the story. I just want to take a car and drive her off and go do something.
That one hurts. Dude, I like the story of GTA 5. I like the ability to bounce between Trevor, Michael, and Franklin and see where we wind up. Dude, always teleporting back to Trevor. You never, like, man, I don't know how many times that dude climbed out of a dumpster just in his tighty whities. Freaking laughed my ass off. Like, it was funny, right? It's just one of those moments.
Wakes up in the desert.
You just never know what is going to happen, right? The introduction to Trevor alone just sets the tone of where to go. But finish that, Michael. After all these years, Scott, you finished it. What are your hopes?
Man.
Well, I understand that. But, so let me ask you then, because we talk about this a lot here too. Do you think we get GTA Online 2.0 at the same launch of GTA 6?
I think they give us a month. I think we get a month to do the story, and then I think it's gonna be a lot quicker than GTA 5. I think we give them a month. That's my prediction.
That's fair. Well, Scott, where are you at with this?
GTA 5, I think, was only because of technical limitations and things that they should have learned from now.
Oh man,
that was a decade ago that the game launched, more than a decade ago. So I'm with you. I want there to be that multiplayer, but I think it will be delayed from the onset of the original launch, and that's totally okay with me because what's important is that I load in and I don't have to do that same stupid street race 100 times before I even get into my character. But you kind of highlighted some things that got me thinking, Michael. The idea of a big open world. You're saying something that kind of, well, maybe I interpreted it a different way. GTA, getting back to what GTA does best. I agree with you, but I think some of what we see in GTA now and the future of it is kind of coming from Saints Row. Now, that might seem a little bit bizarre out there, but when we're talking about open worlds, open factions, things that you kind of, landmarks you can kind of go visit, maybe those are tied to certain factions, certain gangs that you could then set against each other. This is all just hopeful thinking on this part. I'm thinking this would be really cool systems that would keep you just kind of bouncing around the map, not having to follow the story. But I want to double down on my real appreciation for the story, because I'm also hoping that GTA Online brings more of a story. Agreeing with you, I think it should remain open, but maybe a little bit more of some linear threads. If I want to follow that, I can just kind of
Dr. Dre stuff, something like that.
Dr. Dre stuff, or destroying Life Invader, or whatever the weird, wacky companies they come up with that I'm sure will be demonetizable immediately.
There's a couple big changes I want to see implemented. First of all, can we just streamline the fact that when I jump on to the online component, that I can just easily invite you guys. Like, why do we have to jump through hoops? Red Dead Online was the same deal. I'm like, okay, I'm in here now. How do I invite you guys in? I want GTA Online to be able to go, hey, I want to be able to just pull you guys in. Getting into actual GTA 6, I want the combat to be more refined and feel more grounded and weighted. I feel it's floaty. I think they've iterated and learned with Red Dead 2 what GTA 5 had, but I never felt solid combat mechanics were there in GTA 5. I'm hoping with GTA 6, it's a brand new mechanic, the brand new control scheme, and then everything feels the way we are today with a modernized feeling, right? So when they upgraded and brought GTA 5 to the third platform of generations, I was hoping we'd see that scale up and then move over and transition to have a better control scheme. They never even touched it. Like, never even touched it. They just left. And I get it, right? If you mess with that, then you're messing with the whole community that's already built and ready to go and whatever. But when we get into a brand new game, I wanted to be able to then, okay, hey, like, man, Max Payne, like, give us good combat. You know what I mean? Because it should be more of a shining star. If a lot of our focus is going to be combat oriented, I want it to feel like it is responsive, like I am in control of the characters, where I never quite feel like I've got the target, the reticule, going where I want it to go in GTA 5. I'm open for that lock on and just kind of just like, but it almost like bounces before it gets there. Oh man, it's time for an upgrade.
It was definitely, Red Dead definitely had that where you lock a target, but you can then wiggle
Yes.
your reticle around to target different body parts and stuff. That's got to be how it goes going forward. But I want to see another addition to the game, essentially in the online side of things. But it kind of speaks to what you're saying, Drew. The idea that I want my world to just kind of be my world. And although I want it to be open to everybody online, I don't want to shut it off and be a private server. What I'm thinking of is I want to leave my mark on the world in a similar way that maybe Fallout 76 has done it.
Okay.
Maybe we scale that back a little bit, and instead of having, very specific lots, perhaps it's just whatever house you like in that city, you can then turn into a lot. We were talking about how even all the way back in, I believe it was San Andreas or GTA 4, we were supposed to be able to enter every building.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's ambitious. We don't need to do that, but the idea that I can claim specific ones, maybe this one's my house, I guarantee we can all go into it. And I want it to be more of like Fallout handles the building as well, more customizable. So
Sure.
it was cool in GTA 5 Online being able to choose, this
Groundbreaking at the time.
Do I want it to be a dingy dive bar? Do I want it to be a high scale, like the Ballad of Gay Tony kind of thing? And I like that agency because I want it to represent the kind of gang, the motorcycle gang that I've crafted since 2013, Ruffian Gang.
No, there's a lot of things I want to see continue from what they've built and then brought over, but also iterated on. And I'm sure we're gonna get that, right? Like we're really just kind of speculating and hoping for the biggest right now. When they talk about the biggest, though, I want the biggest map possible.
Yes.
If we go for another decade and whatever, a decade and a half for GTA 6, I don't want this map to be absolutely massive or expandable. So that
Expansions.
Right? So not only now are you here, but all of a sudden now you have access to this part of the world as well. But you can still see it from like over here and you can just travel across. You're not going to have to go, okay, I don't want to have to load into another section. If you load into another section, you'll lose the player base, right? The install base is here. Keep everybody here, but allow them to slide this way or slide that way. Like I want the size of the map.
Different instancing almost. That's kind of the way Elite Dangerous can do it, where you can have so many people in an instance, but that instance could be part of a larger one.
Yeah, which would be absolutely incredible, right? I want to see the map. How big would you guys want the map? Like, I'm going 3 times the size of GTA 5. Is that too big?
I think
that sounds right to me. Like 3 times feels right. I think 3 times on release, and then maybe we get another GTA 5 in DLC content on top of it, so it ends up being 4 times by the end of the decade, and GTA 7 if we're even all still around by the time GTA 7 comes out. But no, I think 3 times, like just in my head, feels like that would be perfect.
Where you at, Scott?
Yeah, I think if you go beyond 3 times, it's almost meaningless. It may as well be infinitely generating at that point. So I don't want to lose track of kind of some of the landmarks, and my memory is only so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Living in the same hometown for my whole life, I still forget some of the streets, so I don't want to have that situation in GTA. But the map size is one thing. I'm thinking of expansions now. You've got the wheels turning in my
Yeah.
head, and the ultimate expansion. Even if we do have to live, actually, especially if we have to live with this GTA for another decade, I want an Undead Nightmare pack.
Oh,
Ooh.
right. From the Red Dead 1 brought over something like that. Different Halloween events. We're going to get all kinds of events. There's no doubt about that. It is, yeah, that is definitely coming. I think it's safe to say the hype level is there for GTA 6. There's a lot we want to hear from you guys, though. What do you want to see in the next iteration of GTA 6?